सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ Last time we were discussing about dhyanam. We saw what dhyanam is not. There are two words in Sanskrit, whereas in English there is only one word called meditation. But Sanskrit, we have two words. One is dhyanam, upasana. Another one is nididhyasana. As of now, we will confine our discussion to upasana only. What do we mean by dhyanam here is upasana, or what Sri Ramana Maharshi says, chintanam ajyadharaya sarotasa samam sarala chintanam viralatah param. So, when he says chintanam, we primarily mean upasana. And I had discussed last time what it means by upasana. Saguna Brahma Vishayaka Manasa Vyapara. Mental activity regarding Saguna Brahma, Ishvara. And I further qualified it. Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha Rupaha Vijatiya Vritti Rahitaha Saguna Brahma Vishayaka Manasa Vyapara. Now, as I discussed one point, what meditation is not. Stoning the mind or emptying the mind is certainly not dhyanam. It has its certain benefits because you momentarily feel relieved, but that's not we are trying here. Here, dhyanam is discussed as a part of bhakti, as a part of karma yoga, as a part of antahkarana shuddhi. Since the purpose is to gain shuddhi and ekagram, since the purpose is to consolidate or develop bhakti or live or act in the awareness of Ishvara, do that karma, we are not talking of those kind of dhyanam where you are emptying the mind or stoning the mind or just thinking of only one thing or something. No, that's not the one. That Saguna Brahma Vishaya, Manasa Vyapara, mental activity becomes easy or is natural. People generally say that Swamiji, I don't get concentration. my mind gets distracted. We will see in this lecture class the causes of distraction, but capacity to focus the mind or capacity to have sajatiya vritti pravarupaha manasa vyaparaha is natural to us. It is a gift to human being right from childhood. This chitta ekagram is not to be acquired, you can say to be cultivated, not even cultivated, it is already there. You have to just remove those obstacles, and that which is there, you have to bring it up. Look at this. A child, aged 3 or 4 year old, and there is a lockdown nowadays, corona effect, and government has done well that there will be Ramayana Mahabharata serial, one of the most popular serials of India, telecasted 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. Our class is a sandwich time between them. 7 to 8 is, I think, Ramayana, and 9 to 10 is Mahabharata, or vice versa, I don't know. So also morning 9 to 10 and 12 to 1 or 11 to 12 something. And these popular serials are telecasted, there are commercials. There is an order of 3 or 4 year child, if it happens to watch these serials, TV serials regularly, it immediately remembers all the commercials. And it sings that tune and those words and lyrics along with the commercial. Parents are not interested, they want to mute it, but the baby wants it on because it wants to sing and dance. Ekagram is there, memory is there, just natural. Or a teenage or middle-aged young boy or a girl easily remembers certain film songs and dialogues and shares and shairis, whatever. Anything which you love it, anything that interests you, it is easy to focus and it is easy to remember. It's natural. The object of dhyanam, object of concentration, should be something which you love. Love is like a lubricant. Just as a lubricant keeps the movement friction free, so also the lubricant of love keeps the focus friction free. So when you say Saguna Brahma Vishayaka Dhyanam, that would be like Ajyadharaya when it is with love. So one of the definition of bhakti in Narada Bhakti Sutra is Parama Prema Swarupa. It's a total love. So when you love Saguna Brahma, Dhyanam or Japa becomes effortless, like Sarala Chintanam and Ajyadharaya, like Strotasa Samam and Ajyadharaya. And to develop love for the Lord, we have stories. Anything becomes an object of love provided it is a source of happiness, when it's a source of happiness to me. Or when it promises me some security or happiness in future. Worldly objects are objects of love, some of them, because of our thinking that it has given me the happiness in the past or it will give me happiness in the future. And Ishvara being out of sight is out of mind also, and therefore no more object of love. To create or bring out the love for Ishvara, we have this. We have Puranas. We have stories. We have Mahatma Satsangas. We have stories of Bhaktas as well, devotees stories. Those who were devotees, and when you listen to their story and the love for the Lord, then one can discover within oneself that love. So, these stories of Purana induces the love for Ishvara, one thing. And Satsanga, contact or association with Mahatmas. And when you understand somebody's greatness, in a sense, somebody's love for you, somebody's commitment for you, the care that person has taken for you, there is a very subtle love. Like even as the child grows up, remembers when he or she becomes middle-aged or something, and as a baby and growing up a baby, is almost a child, is teenager, remembers what all he or she used to do to his mother and how mother and father used to treat them. So that love, then it develops a love. There is a very subtle love for the parent. There is a love born out of respect for the parent. And that is through maturity, understanding what the role the parents have played in my life. So also studying Shastra, studying Gita, when you know the Swarupa of Ishvara, when you know the nature of Ishvara, you can develop a matured, or I would say subtle love. It develops in you. You develop a subtle connection for Ishvara. You learn to live in the awareness of Ishvara, because you see Ishvara as the very order. You see the Ishvara as the very law, as the whole creation. When that is developed, then Dhyanam becomes easy. It becomes Ajyadharya and Srotasasava. Now, I have to talk about certain obstacles that are there for meditation. These are the same obstacles, these obstacles are same when it is Nididhyasanam also. What are the obstacles? One, the foremost is, the Shastra call it as Kashaya. Saragam bija sanyuktam manaha, the Shastra definition, Parachina Vishaya Pravrutti. The activity of the mind regarding some object or situation or person of the past. We are blessed with a unique faculty called Antahkaranam, and one of the aspects of Antahkaranam is Manaha, what we can call it in English as emotive faculty, emotions. It's a reality. You cannot negate them, you cannot dismiss them, you cannot be oblivious to them. You are born with these emotions, and these emotions keep on manifesting as you keep on interacting with the world outside. Now, at the emotional level, there is often a pain in the mind of a given person. This pain can be born out of external situation, or it can be born out of certain internal situation, internal thought situation, internal thought process. That internal thought process is again twofold. One, your own memory, and second, your own imaginations, your own projections, your own notions. Please understand, these emotions is a blessing, and so also this aspect of antakaranam, namely memory, chittam, is also blessings. It's a great blessing. Because of memory, you learn how to deal in future. Therefore, there is a saying, experience makes the person wiser. You employ the memory. It's a blessing. Because of memory, you remember the things and proceed further. If you had no memory, like Alzheimer's, people have problem to themselves and to others. So, memory is a blessing to human being. Because of that, you can relate and acknowledge the love and the care and the compassion of the others towards you, and be careful about others who are harming you, etc. So memory itself is a blessing, and imagination is also blessings. Because of the imaginations only, there are researches going on. Some of the research takes place because you imagine, you infer, you postulate. This may be like that, it can be like that. So, both the things, memory and imaginations, are blessings. This internal thought process is a blessing. But then, same thing becomes a curse when it takes over you, the self. If there is a space between you and your memories, if there is a space between you and your imaginations, it's a blessing. In absence of that space, it itself becomes a curse. It's a blessing because a gift of the God. In fact, God Himself is there. In the 15th chapter, Bhagavan says, Matta smrutir gnanam apohanam cha sarvasya chaham hridisannivishtaha matta smrutir gnanam apohanam cha. Smriti, gnanam, and even forgetfulness is blessings. Okay? Because you learn from your memory. But only when that memory takes over the person, memory or imagination takes over the person, then they become problem. They are burden to the human being. So much so, sometimes it becomes a part of that person. It becomes that person's identity. And then it is not only a problem, it is crisis. Such mental responses of unpleasant memories painful memories, anger, hatred, frustration, etc., etc. These memories, mental responses, when they come to mind again and again, keep repeated, it becomes a built-up. Okay? It further creates pain. And that further created pain is again fed back to motherboard. That is your mind. And again mind has a pain. This generates more and more anxiety, anxious thoughts. Mind slowly and slowly becomes toxic. No event or a situation or an experience is really over. It remains in the seed form, what we call it vasana or samskaras, impressions of that experience. And your own mind and mind-made story creates that mind and your mind-made story about that given experience. It creates a chain of reactions in your mind. It gives rise to purely emotional thinking, purely unconscious thinking, uncontrolled thinking. And that thinking is, like you can say, crazy, right? Or its design is like a kaleidoscopic design of a kaleidoscope. And this story, mind-made story, me and my story, keep it going. Further adds. This vicious circle of unexamined mind and the emotions leads to involuntary thinking, leads to mechanical thinking, leads to reactive thinking, reactional thinking. It leads to emotional story making. I often say, human mind keeps on producing the movie. It is producer, director, actor, actress, heroine, villain, script writer, dialogue writer, and financier of the whole movie. More often, out of memory, unpleasant experiences are reenacted. Mind has its story. Dialogues are rewritten. He or she said to me like this, and I'm gonna tell like this, and what does he mean in his mind, and what does she think about his mind, and he doesn't have any values, and blah, 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 goes on and on. This thinking is reactive. This thinking, unexamined, uncontrolled, emotional, reactive, instinctual, or unconscious thinking. It may have its origin either in the past birth, what we call as vasanas or samskaras, past janma, not one janma, janmas. It may have its origin in one's own childhood or some experiences of the past which were unpleasant. Pleasant experiences are being far and few, and they are very rarely repeated in the mind, and then again imagination comes. because of the past experiences. But everything has a basis in past. This is Kashaya. Parachina Vishaya Pravrutti. Okay? And then this attitude comes. This general approach to life comes. This person, what we call it, relates with a notion or prejudices. Like some people, I see that. They say nobody is trustworthy. Nobody is good person. You know, they say there is no one to be trusted. No one likes me. I am unwanted. No one appreciates me. Whatever I have done, they don't have appreciation for me. Or especially the near and dear one, he or she doesn't have respect and value for my thinking. Therefore, he or she doesn't ask me. There may be some truth in the statement. I'm not denying to that. But that attitude all the time, that approach all the time, it becomes a pattern, what they call in psychology. I have to always fight. Nothing gets done in a straight way. When you talk politely and humbly, nobody listens. You have to be authoritative. This is a pattern. My luck is bad. And then know something astrology, my Rahu, Ketu, Shani, etc. is problematic. Right from day one, I didn't get what I deserved. Even insecurity. Person may have sufficient money in our perception, in our view, or even objectively. He or she always feels that I don't have enough money. Cannot even trust himself or herself. Something good happens, some opportunity comes to life. I don't deserve this. There is apprehension all the time, anxiety. This good has happened, now certainly some bad will happen. All the good friends of mine I have lost. Useless are always there. Some good person is there, I think I'm going to lose that person. This becomes compulsive stream of thinking. Okay? This is called dysfunctional thinking. This is called dysfunctional thought pattern. It always responds in a given situation in future negatively. It always responds with apprehensions, with anxiety, and all the time negative emotions accompany that person. They together, such emotions not only harm the person, but these emotions are very contagious. They are, you can use now this dysfunctional thinking is corona, psychological corona. It affects the people around without even your passing out, without even your speaking out. The anxiety, the person who is too anxious, too stressed, too distrusting, the mere presence, you feel that. You are sometimes afraid to speak even all the what to say or what not to say. And that indirectly causes chain of reaction to others, causing unhappiness all around. This is how we live. No situation or no event gets really over or finished. It has mind-made me and my story. Keeps that event going within, keeps that situation live within. It's no more dead. When you meditate, this pops up. They pop up like those commercials pop up when you watch YouTube videos. At least some of the commercial, at least YouTube video commercials, you know, there are two types. One, they tell you, you can skip this after 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and duck. Skip. By the time you're eagerly waiting and you touch it and skip that. Skip the pop-up. Some of them, nowadays I see that, because nowadays I have time and I'm also confined to get the news. I open YouTube and Netflix has invariably some commercial. But it's hardly 3 seconds. You know it is in 3 seconds it will be over. But this psychological pop-up, you don't know when it gets over. Because you know why? It is fed further. As I told you, this cycle of emotion, mental response, then further creates a pain. The part of that newly created pain is fed to the mind. It again generates more pain, more anxiety, more negative thinking, again pain, again fed to mind, goes on. In japa also you might have discovered, some of you, when you feel so helpless with this, then you tell, oh Bhagavan, help me. Then suddenly Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama starts. Suddenly, whatever mantra, because out of helplessness, you seek refuge into the Lord, and you just develop a surrender out of helplessness, however momentarily. That reminds you of the Nama Japa. But in meditation, or that reminds you of Nama Japa, what else? There is in the mala, there is one big bead, which when you know it completes the mala. Sometimes you go on, and the finger is moving the beads mechanically. Only when you start stuck with that bigger bead, you realize, oh, mala is over. Then you come back to Sri Krishna Saranam Mama, or Om Namah Shivaya, or whatever it is. So, this is an obstruction in meditation, major obstruction. What is the way out? Then it says, what Kashaya is there? How to get rid of it? Just be witness, develop the space, or as they call it, let go. See, just now I told you that mental responses again and again becomes built up, which further creates pain, and that is fed to mind. The whole blessed thing, when you remember, when you come out of meditation, that adds to your pain. I said for meditation, but I could not meditate. What a wretched mind I have. It went on and on. Again, you same thought, my luck is really bad. My stars are not favoring me. My spouse is not conducive to me or not helping to me. It comes back. It holds you. In modern life, problems of have-nots are almost nil. The hardships that we suffered of have-nots, the pain we had, physical and to some extent sometimes psychological, is practical in it. Modern life has lots and lots of psychological issues, emotions. emotional blockage, out of blockage of love or anger or hatred. That emotional block is so powerful that person is not available to thinking. Forget about not available to thinking, not available to listening. When such emotions as though possess one's objective thinking, like possessed by ghost. People are possessed by certain emotions. Their thinking is confined to the periphery of that emotional thing, emotional thing. And they never live in present, either in the past or some idealistic future. Their own ideas about how I should be, how should I be relating to the world, or how my family should be, or how my position should be, or whatever. They are not ready to reconsider things. They are conditioned by these emotions, and thereby they don't live in the present. They are not in the present. They can't be objective. They can't relate to other persons objectively. They can't see other person objectively. They can't see the situation objectively. This is Kashaya. And when this thing pop up in meditation, there is only and only solution. Either I say, you remember and further add to pain. The moment you realize it, let go. Yato yato nischarati manaschanchalamastiram tatastato niyamyaitat atmanneva vasham. For whatever nimitta, cause, either memory or imagination, mind goes out, bring it back. Tatastato niyamyaitat atmanneva vasham nayet. Slowly and slowly, as I said, we create the space within ourselves, within our memory and myself, my imaginations and myself, and I try, work upon my own mind not to get carried away by mechanical or instinctual or memory controlled thinking or toxic thinking. The fellow gets intoxicated. In fact, this is the problem of waking life. But then it pops up in that meditation. In the waking state, one should be more introspective. One can be introspective and can address this problem. At least, let's be conscious about the problem. We are so driven by the mind and mind story. Film created by the mind, actor, director, producer, etc., while driving or while sitting or doing some work, at the back of mind it goes on, that we even hardly notice that this is going on. That mind is creating a toxic thinking, is creating a built-up that is hardly noticed. Not only not noticed, it is sometimes fueled by verbal dialogue. People suddenly say something, suddenly while in the car also or sitting, they make some gesture like this, that is, it's so much of built up within that it expressed at the body level. It expressed at the tongue level. This happens. So, we have to be, first of all, try to be conscious about me and my story. As I said, this emotionally overpowered person is not available for listening. I have seen when they are taken over, they are held captive as though, like possessed by certain emotions. That is what they call it, a phobia. However logical you talk to them, they come out with another logic. Nowadays, there is a corona intoxication. Will I not get corona? I said, no. One person, one lady has this problem. One man also is there in Ahmedabad, and lady also calls me. Swamiji blessed me that I may not get corona. I said, you will not get corona. But today, I am not feeling well. That is every day, every second day. I said, it must be just because you may be tired and then you may have weakness. I don't think I have weakness. Just 2 minutes ago, that person said, I am not feeling well. I asked him how. He said, they feel very tired. From one room to another room, I don't feel like going. Then I said, you have weakness. No, I don't think I have weakness. You only say you are feeling so tired that in a small house, you don't feel like moving from one to another room. And recently you had some medication, some antibiotic tablets just before fortnight, and the impact may be there. Will I not have corona? I said, are you sure? Possessed. Swamiji, I get up at night and check that I don't have temperature. You will not, don't worry, sleep. But suppose my family gets it, it's a big deal. You have to accept the fact as a fact. If they get it, they get it. It's our prarabdha. You have to bring in the Ishvara and get out of it. But then this possessive, conditioned thinking again and again, mechanical thinking, is hardly noticed in the day. First and the foremost is just get engaged into some activity of interest. Keep busy. If nothing, watch TV and movies. Enjoy, relax. Have some hobby which gives you some happiness. And engage in that hobby rather than simply worrying. This builds up, creates fear and anxiety. That is again fed to the mind. Mind becomes more powerful, then again powerful reaction, again built up, again anxiety and fear, again feeding to the mind, goes on. Person becomes compulsive, reactive, impulsive, you can say negative thinker. Whole life becomes like that. The waking state only, we have to be alert about our ways of thinking and somehow break them through some physical activity, yoga and asanas, if not some hobby, some recreation, whereby I have some positivity in me, where I can restrain myself relatively from such negative thinking. If such thing comes in meditation, pops up, then you just let go. You just let go. What is let go? How do we let go? It is like the duck fight. I've never seen ducks fighting because we don't have ducks here except in some places. When they fight, they have so much of extra energy built up. They don't physically fight much of it. They keep. So then suddenly they will flap their wings. They are not like cockfight. Ducks don't fight like a cock. They just talk it out. And when the energy is so much built up, that is released by flapping the wings. That is called let go. Similarly, we let go our story, mind story, my own story, made up stories, or actual stories. It happened, so it may happen, so what? And I return back to the present. Memory leads me to the past. Imaginations drives me to future. Please understand. It is easy to say. People give such slogans. Live in present. How do I live in present? I am living in present. After my death, if people remember me, then I live in past or memory. That's fine. Live in presence means I let go those stories. I never let myself possessed like the ghost possessing the soul. I never let myself being possessed by these kinds of thinking, reactive thinking. I never let myself possessed by emotions. Ultimately, it's emotions. And that is possible when in waking also I am objective to my emotions. And one cannot be objective all the time. It's natural. So we have this tradition that I listen to elders. Brahmana sammarshinaha yukta ayukta ayukta aluksha dharmaka bhasyu. Upanishad says, Taittiriya Upanishad, Veda says. Listen, there is a Vakya. Yena pantaha mahajano mahajano gataha. What Mahapurushas, wise men do, that is your dharma, that is your path. So we surrender to some wise person to address my lack of objectivity, to control my being possessed by emotions, emotional possessions, to release myself, to control my ways of thinking, to divert my ways of thinking to the positivity, proper way of thinking, to learn that, to be objective to given situations and relations and events. I surrender myself to someone. That is in waking. But while in meditation, if such things come, if it overpowers you, you let go moment you realize. We don't brood on it. Just let go. Kashayam tam vijaniyat. You don't think over it. You just let go those kinds of unbridled, uncontrolled, unconscious, or emotionally possessed thinking habits of the mind. And that is where Pujya Swamiji often used to say this verse, Sparshan krutva bahirbahyan chakshushchaivantare bhruvoho pranapanau samo krutva nasabhyantaracharinau tatraikagram manah krutva na kinchidapi chintai. This verse Pujya Swamiji often used to quote. And if some of you who have attended the classes And among those, some who remember in those meditations, some of the meditations of let go meditation, what I call Swamiji another word, he always used to say, accept the people. He used to may help you to visualize sunrise or sunset, or you're sitting on a seashore. Mentally imagine that the waves are coming and going, making a noise, and the sun is setting on the horizon. It is like an orange color. It's all quiet. Few birds are there here and there in the sky, and you are just watching the scene. Look at yourself, he used to say. You accepted everything as they are. You are happy. You are at peace because you don't want the ocean to change. You don't want waves to change. You don't want sunset to change. You don't want the color of the horizon to change. You don't want those birds that are flying here, these few birds to change. Nothing. You accept the things as they are. So then he would say, accept your body, accept your nose, accept your height, accept your color of the skin. And then he would say, think of your mother, accept her as she is. With all her ways of thinking or limitations, whatever, this is let go. Accepting the things, people, situation as it is. This meditation, when you bring in Ishvara as a karma phaldata, as a niyanta, as an order of Jagadishvara, that acceptance becomes easy. It aids also the waking state, where you can accept the unpleasant situation as prasada. We have seen that thing in Karma Yoga. When, by looking at the situation, if you bring in Ishvara as karma phaldata, then you can accept them as it is. I have to let go my story. I have to learn. I have to learn to let go my movie created by mind. Why did this person did like this? Some many very unpleasant, shocking events happening. Why but? Why not this way? At least this way they could have done some breach of trust, some hurt here. You keep on doing. And they say, people tell me, Swamiji, during daytime I have no issues. I keep myself busy in the work. But when I'm alone at home, at evening or late night, this why? And why not this way? This keeps on popping and bothering. You have to accept that as Ishvara's order. Accept that as one of the manifestations of the Ishvara. That is Karma Yoga. And that is the Bhakti. And that helps you to meditate. Because that Karma Yoga, this attitude, will neutralize those emotions. Emotional pain, emotional hurts, those unpleasant emotions get neutralized. And the popping up of such emotions, and then building up, and then again feeding the whole negative emotion, and again popping, this cycle is broken. Shithili bhavati, it becomes loose. It becomes weak. It doesn't become so strong that it possesses me. It takes over me. The memory or imaginations do not take charge of me. I get some space within myself, and thereby I can neutralize these emotions objectively. So then it becomes sarala chinta. It becomes effortless chintanam, which is certainly better than effortful. This becomes uninterrupted meditation, which is better than interrupted meditation. two more obstacles for meditations. Regarding meditation, I'll talk in the next class. We close here now. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.